Hey, everybody, welcome to Cars with Cocktails, a show where we join two things that go perfectly together, drinking and driving. I am joined by my co-host, Charles, a.k.a. the Hum Mechanic. And this is a redemption story, potentially, for Campari, the shittiest alcohol that exists on the planet.
So, full disclosure, I took a little sneak sip of said drink, which I don't remember what it was called. And I think it tastes a lot like if gasoline had like a bit of a hint of cherry, but not like those good maraschino cherries, just like rotten old cherry juice, maybe. It's not like this cup is filled to, you can actually see the condensation line. If it gets to there, it'll be a miracle. It's
So
spicy.
what we're drinking is a Boulevardier. I don't know how it must be a French term. I don't know. Boulevardier. It is 1.5 ounces of bourbon or rye whiskey, 3/4 ounces of Campari, 3/4 ounces of sweet vermouth. Based on Charles's reaction, it's not very good. It does have Campari, which we tried with the Negroni, which I think Negroni is the Maserati of the alcohol world.
AKA tastes like a dumpster. So what I didn't realize, Paul, when you sent me this drink is that this drink that we're drinking today is actually the winter counterpart to Negroni. So it's not surprising that this is also absolutely terrible.
Well, how do you not know that in winter they drink better drinks? How am I supposed to?
Dude, if the Nagari is your summer drink, like you got problems is all I'm saying. You got some problems, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that like this. I can tell you it is not for me. Although maybe, if it were sitting around a campfire, maybe, you know what I think, actually? I wonder if this were warmer, above room temperature, I think. Like not hot, like you would drink a hot cup of coffee, but like a nice warm, like you'd drink apple cider or something like that. I bet this would be much better than it is on ice I
have it on ice as well. It is terrible. Just for context, this bottle is $35. That's how much we've drank so far. This is the second drink that we've made with this bottle. And this is the only size they sell it in because apparently shitty alcohol only comes in very, very large sizes. And what I was going to say is it is the Maserati of the alcohol world, expensive yet shitty.
Touche, salesman. What, Paul, are we, other than this terrible drink, what are we going to be talking about in this episode? TBD on the number, because I have no idea what number it is.
I think it's 19, maybe.
That's good.
Today, we're talking about shitty car mods. And we're going to start with talking about some of the ones that we've done. And I'll lead into it myself. I think the thought for me on this was everybody gets roasted in a lot of places online over things they've done. Oftentimes, they post, usually what you see is somebody who gets fucking ambushed where they're super proud of the thing they just did. And then they post a picture like, hey guys, check out what I just did. And then it's just like, everybody piles on. Yes.
I'm thinking of that meme where it's like, the picture of underneath, I think, a truck, and the dude's all proud about his battery relocation that he just did. And the battery cable, right? Like a big 4-gauge cable on one side is zip tied to the prop shaft. And on the other side, it's zip tied to the exhaust. And he's just like, hell yeah, battery relocation complete. Yep. And, I mean, clearly, okay, so if you don't know, zip tying a battery cable to a prop shaft is either going to break the zip ties right away, the cable will just be hanging, or it will actually twist the cable around the prop shaft as it rotates. On the other side of what I just said about the exhaust, back at that end, honestly, you're probably not going to melt that cable, but zip tying anything to an exhaust is generally not a good idea, unless it's underglow, which is fresh as shit. And I also think is making kind of a cool comeback, believe it or not. We're 20 years, I think, removed from that cool underglow phase. I think, I don't know if it actually is, but I could see it easily making a comeback here in the next 3 to 5 years.
It seems to be making a little bit of a comeback, and I don't. Yeah, to me, I have no problem with underglow if you're using it in the right circumstance. If you want to use it as a show car, whatever, blah blah. But if you're driving around the fucking roads with your underglow on,
so in like the Starbucks drive-through, I should turn my underglow off. Is what you're saying?
Don't is what I'm saying. Yeah. So anyway, leading into mods that I think I would say I've outgrown, or I think we're dumb, or some may say even ricey. Back when I had my Mark IV, my first
end of comment. Back when I had my Mark IV, done.
I bought it new, the first car I ever modded or did anything with, second car I ever owned. First mod I did was, I was super proud of cold air intake, which on Mark IVs was like down underneath the bumper. It was a little bit more of a pain in the ass to do, even by today's standard of what I would do with most cars. But for then, I was very proud. But I don't know if it was my second mod, but it was certainly very close into owning that car. Was night shades on taillights was very popular at the time. If you're not familiar with nightshades, it's like basically just use spray tint your taillights. So that was a very popular thing at the time. But what I did was I took a Porsche turbo lettering, and I don't know exactly what I used. I taped off the turbo lettering and spray painted the lettering of turbo on one of my taillights in like the running light section, and over top then I had nightshades, so during the day you couldn't see anything, but when it lit up at night you'd see like turbo in the taillight.
Bro,
I'm not proud of it.
That's amateur hour. Buckle up, my friend. I'm also thinking of you mentioned the nightshades. What was popular, I think this was more American cars, because I remember a lot of like maybe S10 pickups and Pontiacs. The Grand Am and the Grand Prix, I feel like, stand out in my mind that this was a really popular thing. It was a similar mindset where you had the idea was to black out the tail light, or the headlight in this case, but these were lens covers, and they would just like Velcro on, so you could take them on and off, and you just Velcro I want to say like GTO was the brand, maybe. It wasn't my thing, we'll just say. So let's talk about some real embarrassing, horrible first mods. And let me before I say that, when you really break it down, the majority of modifications that you do to a car are bad modifications to the car. Unless you have a purpose specific for a modification, right? We're doing X to achieve goal Y, which is not often fully thought out when we modify a car, right? We lower a car because we want it to look cool. We don't always take into account how we're essentially trashing the suspension geometry. And even though it might feel cooler, it probably does make the car ride and drive worse on the street in normal everyday driving. But I digress. Here we go. This would have been the second or third car I owned. It was a 97 Acura Integra GSR in black, whatever Acura calls their black. So a very cool car, honestly.
Very cool. But for the day, it was top shelf.
This still to this day, one of my favorite cars that I've owned. And I thought I was hot shit when I lowered it. Did not replace the shock absorbers, but I think it was like a 2.5-inch drop. So it brought this car way down.
It was low.
Yeah, it was dumb. Stupid low. Did the AEM intake, which wasn't, that big of a deal. But of course, I think it was red, because you had to have red accents on your black Integra, red badges, red Acura badges too, where the background was red. An Apex I, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I always say Apex I don't know.
I don't know what's right. I'm sure if flame me in the comments, please, and let me know how I said it wrong. Catback exhaust with a test pipe, so no catalytic converter at all, with the big ass like 4-inch muffler tip. Looked ridiculous. It was low as crap, so the the canister, like if this were the bumper, the car kind of came out at a weird angle, and the bottom of the canister was all rubbed off from scraping. So already like not ideal mods, not really tasteful
Not
mods,
bad.
but
Yeah.
I thought they were cool, but like, you know, I look
That's
back.
not
like,
that bad for the time.
Oh, my friend, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So then what I thought would be cool would be to get new taillights. And this is at the time where, was it like the IS300 was really popular? So the Altima taillights, oh no, you don't even know, were really, really popular. And I'm like, well, that's cool. But you know what's even cooler?
Super taillights.
Fucking clear taillights, bro. So they were just like whitish clear. They look like crap, man. They were awful because they still had the reflectors in them. So it wasn't like a clear. It was just basically a white taillight. What I thought would be real badass, because I was so cool, is to put blue turn signals on. So I had clear side markers in the front, like in the bumper lights, clear taillights, obviously red brake lights and tail lights, and blue turn signals. So if you turn the hazards on while you're driving at night, it looked like a cop car. Dumbest thing ever. Very, very much illegal. Friends, do not do this because you will get pulled over. Rightfully so, I think. Yeah, and I rocked that for a while until I'm like, this is not a good choice. So I threw the stock taillights back on and didn't have to worry so much about getting pulled over. Then I sold that car. So
Did you ever get tickets? Did you ever get tickets for your turn signals?
I don't know how I never got, I'll tell you, I never did. And here's how I never got pulled over. I lived in the fucking hood. And when I say like in the hood, it wasn't like, oh, this is not a great neighborhood. I lived in an apartment complex, and you know, weekly you would see, we had closed caption TV for the front doors because you had to buzz people in. Already, right? Not the nicest, or either super nice or complete ghetto. Multiple times I saw people getting drug out in handcuffs, getting arrested. So my drive was the highway through the tollway, which I lived in that apartment for a while. And I don't even want to say, I don't know if there's a statute of limitations on not paying tolls. So we'll just leave it at that. I was very dumb as a young man, much dumber than I am today. And yeah, so I think because it was so ghetto, unless you were like drive-by shooting, cops are just like, whatever. He's nobody's dying, and so I'm not pulling him over.
See, I had the opposite experience because in New Jersey, where I grew up, the town that I grew up in, there was no crime whatsoever. And so the cops, you know, like every car person, you know, and back then there was a lot of mini truck guys who kind of cruised around. In New Jersey, you had to have front plates, but nobody wants to have a front plate on a car if you're a car person because it fucks up the front aesthetic of your car. And everybody ran without front plates but got ticketed like nonstop because cops got nothing to do but fucking pull kids over for tickets and hanging out outside the Quick Check. That's what they do. So stupid mods. I mean, I think to me, I feel like everybody, when you're a car person, everybody feels like the person they are today is the person they were in the beginning, and they act like they were a fully formed enthusiast the minute they fucking got into cars. And the reality is, I think everybody has done shit to their cars that they're like, I mean, my Mark IV, I modded that thing until I fucking hated driving it. I had a puck clutch. I had polyurethane everything. I imagine driving in New Jersey traffic on a regular Northeast Jersey traffic every day with a fucking puck clutch. It's just like, you just want to kill yourself. But that's what you do. You ruin a car, and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that shit again. That was terrible.
And I think the older you get, you start to really appreciate the level of engineering and R&D that really does go into building a nice car. You know, take the Mark 7, 7.5, whether it's the R, even just a Golf. That's a pretty nice damn car. And when you start screwing around with it, you know, there's no modification period that is not free of a pro and a con, right? The closest, in my opinion, that you can get when you get outside of like paint protection, other than that's expensive. And I've been informed paint protection is not a mod, not like tints or anything like that, but
Tints.
Yeah. I only say that for you because I know how much you love it.
I despise, and I made a TikTok video that was like a kind of a trend or whatever about tints. I hate the word tints, and I didn't realize so few people actually know the word tints. It is a word that I would say, I'm going to go on a limb and say mostly spoken by idiots, but that's just me. I hate the word tints. It is not accurate. Is the word, plural word for tint, is tint in terms of window tint. There are different tints of paint in terms of color and shading, but not for windows.
I think the term tinted is also acceptable.
Tinted is also an acceptable
tinted.
term. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I have completely forgotten what I was talking about. So the closest being something like a rear sway bar, which even does come with a con of you run the potential for more noise. I think that's probably the most pro least con modification you could do to a car. Tires being another one. That depending on what you're doing, you know, I mean, you could spend a ton of money and have very poor tread wear. You can get it all around, but that's neither here nor there. When you get outside of those type of things, everything else is a compromise. Lowering your car is a huge ass compromise. Yeah, it might look fucking awesome 3 inches lower, but how's that shit driving? How do you like pulling into a damn parking lot where the curb is 4 millimeters higher and you scrape your shit? Or you complain about an oil pan that you busted 4 times because your shit's so damn low. Raise your car up.
I don't think most mods have that many cons, although I will say if you really nitpick, rear sway bar does stiffen up the rear of your car. So it does affect some comfort, although not as much as springs, obviously. But and tires, the same thing. I mean, tread wear, I think, is the biggest one because tires, you know, obviously people always say tires are the best mod that you could do. The problem is that the best tires in terms of performance also have the least amount of tread wear and are voted most likely to put a massive dent in your wallet.
Yeah, high performance tires are not cheap. Yeah, I stand firm on every mod comes with a pro and a con. You know, even something simple like a cold air intake or hot air intake, depending on how nitpicky we want to be with it, you probably don't gain any noticeable horsepower. You increase the sound of the air coming into your engine. You might get some extra turbo noises if you're driving a turbocharged car, but I don't see the gain on a lightly modified car. I personally, depending on the car, I don't want to hear that shit. This is why the Golf, my R, doesn't have an exhaust on it. I don't want it to sound, well, they sound like crap most of the time anyway. With an exhaust on them, and I don't want it to sound like that. I think it sounds cool with the flaps open and just a downpipe. I don't need it blaring my damn ears on a car that sounds mediocre at best anyway. Take an R32, a little different story, or some other right performance oriented car, but it's just I'm so jaded as a technician in a way that most all mods are dumb unless you can prove to me that it's not. And even then you've made a pretty big compromise. Another one that for the most part, right? I know some of you guys are watching or listening. You're like, Charles, I put a big brake kit on my car because I take it to the track, and it's better now. And yeah, you're right. But what about that dude that spent 5 G's, because big brake kits are damn expensive, to basically mall crawl in his GLI because they look cool? You don't need 6-piston fucking calipers on your little ass car to drive on the highway.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I always encourage people when it comes to brake upgrades, do some slotted rotors and some sport pads. Sport pads. People always give me shit about, people say EBC red stuff sucks, whatever. And it's like, okay, if you fucking torch them on a track, yeah, they suck. But like, that's not what they're meant for. They're meant for sport driving. So yeah, if you track a car, the problem I think with a lot of mods like that is people are looking for a everything mod. And like you said, although I will say, not to digress from my brake pad talk there right there, but a tune probably is not one that comes with any cost other than the voiding of the warranty.
I would probably agree. I know for me it's a fuel economy problem, but that's not the tune. That's the idiot behind the wheel.
Yeah,
more than anything.
Well, that's the downside of when you make a car faster. You're like, oh, I'm more likely to just every once in a while. Yeah. So but in terms of pads, for me, I think 90 to 95% of people, when it comes to brake upgrades, could just do fine with a pad and rotor upgrade that has a little bit better of a bite to it and better feel, and that's all you really need. The only time big brake kits are for a brake fade, like if you are tracking your car to where you have brake fade, oftentimes brakes are going to exceed the clamping force of your brakes, especially when you do big brakes, are going to exceed the traction you have available to you with your tires anyway.
Yeah, nothing like having a big brake kit rolling around with some Bobo ass all season tires. Like, bitch, you ain't going to stop fast no matter what the hell brakes you put on your car because your tires suck and they're not capable of doing what you want to do. You know, the way it was explained to me with big brake kits, talking specifically about the R32, because the black one, that's something I'm actually considering doing for a couple of reasons. One, like, I hate on big brake kits a lot, but what I will concede is the shit looks cool as hell, right?
Oh, yeah.
That
looks
big
awesome.
ass rotor with the big ass caliper, that shit looks real cool. For the most part, there's nothing when it comes to stopping performance that a big brake kit could do that the factory setup can't. One time. It's the 15th time where you've roasted the pads and rotors on the stock setup that your big brake kit will continue to perform as well as it can, depending on where you're at in the heat cycling. Another problem, people put race car brakes on a car you drive in the street. How's that shit work out for you when it's 35 degrees the first 15 times you hit the brakes? Yeah, they don't stop so well.
Yeah. And frankly, and I know because, after the all track, we had race pads on it for a while because we tracked it in some like actual legitimate track stuff. First of all, track pads destroy rotors. They fucking destroy them. And we have 2-piece rotors on that car, so they're expensive as shit. Like that's A. B, they're noisy as fuck. They're going to squeal everywhere you go because that's what track pads don't give a shit about noise, and whether you coming to a stop and the thing's like,
dude, if your brakes sound like that, you got other problems. And let me tell you, fellas, if you're driving around, like, what do they call it? Riding dirty? No, that's not what they say, but like riding hard, right? Trying to be hard and look cool. Chicks don't dig cars with squeaky brakes. They don't give a shit that your car has race car brakes and that's why it squeaks. They just, they see it as a piece of shit car. So when you're trying to impress the chicks with your race car brakes, whoo, you're probably not getting it done, brother. Probably
Yeah.
not getting it done.
Yeah.
But tell her you got some RE71s, 71Rs on that bitch. Hell yeah.
She's not gonna care at all.
She won't care one
she
bit.
won't care even a little bit. She doesn't. Yeah. The one thing I will say about being a car guy is the one thing it will not get you is girls. That is absolutely true. If you're spending all your money on cars, it is not great for your love life. Yeah, you're better off spending all your money at a bar if that's what you care about. Just saying.
And that's Paul's dating advice from two old ass married dudes.
Hey. At one point, I was not a married ass dude. So, there's that.
That's when he was riding around with his Mark IV with his turbo brake light, reverse light up. So, hey, maybe it does get the chicks, dude. I don't know. You're married, so.
There's definitely an overlap, although being married isn't necessarily a very high bar, because I think there's lots of people who have marriage available to them. It's the quality of that marriage. That's where the question comes into play. So, yeah, I don't know. I could just say, there's the problem. I think a lot of times with being a car person, a car guy, is there's not a lot of social situations you end up if you spend a lot of time in the car community where you meet a lot of girls.
It's a sausage fest.
And there's a lot
unless you're the top tier,
you better be the best looking. You better be the best looking dude, or you better be the richest or the best looking dude in that group of car guys, because otherwise you are fucked, buddy.
Yeah, this took a weird turn. How to modify your car to impress the dudes and steer the chicks clear of you.
I can assure you, modifying your car is a great way to get guys to talk to you. That's about it. Yeah.
I feel like we need a female in like Faye to just pop up right here and be like, yeah, y'all are fucking pathetic.
Yeah. So actually, funny story. So I don't think I ever told you this. So you were there last year, BFI Oktoberfest. I brought my son, one of my oldest son, with me. He was hanging out, whatever. He was 7 at the time. His first experience with that type of stuff. I don't really bring him around that stuff usually. And he doesn't really have a lot of exposure. They obviously, my kids, they're still pretty young. They know we make videos. They know, obviously they know you, whatever, but they don't really understand the gravity of all this stuff, whatever. But so we went to BFI, and obviously that's a place where you and I generally tend to get recognized in those places, and people come and talk to us about different things or whatever. When we got home, he told my wife, he said that there were lots of guys that all wanted to be my girlfriend.
He's so right too.
Yeah, because he thought it was hilarious, which was very funny. So, yeah, fun fact for everybody here: if you met my son at BFI Oktoberfest in 2019, he thinks you want to be my girlfriend.
You are now Paul's girlfriend.
Yeah.
That is damn hilarious, my friend.
Yeah. So, yeah, back to car community. So, mods, I think there's certainly a dynamic in which everybody's going to judge mods. And I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I don't either when I see stuff that I think is silly, that I don't look at it and think it's silly. But I think the one thing I will say is we should probably, as a community, dissuade the community from shitting on people for doing something that they're proud of that you think is fucking dumb.
I completely agree. And I am probably like both ends of the spectrum of like, look, it's your car. You built it for you. I respect the shit out of that. It's the majority of these modifications that people do are probably something I'm never going to do. I might not understand why you want to do it. Like, perfect example, Camber Gang. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't see the appeal. I think it looks dumb. It clearly doesn't improve the performance of the vehicle in any way. It ruins tires. Well, I guess only on the one edge, right? Ruins tires.
You could flip them around since they're running.
It's like buying fucking 2 sets of tires, I guess.
Yeah, shitty all seasons. You just flip them. You just flip them around, and then the cords go on the outside. It doesn't touch the ground.
And then it's like, you touch my car, you're going to get, a cord cut your hand wide open.
We never considered that as a safety feature.
Yeah, it's like someone's trying to carjack you. You'd be like, not today. Skirt. And like cut them or something, I guess. I don't know. But like
bleeding out on the street.
Yeah, then that's, fuck around, get cut. I don't get it, okay? If you want to do that to your car, cool. It's fine. A lot go like trucks. There's a lot of trucks and this brodozer movement, Bluetooth drive shafts and all that. The SEMA ignited crowd. Don't get it. Don't get it at all. I respect how much work it takes to get that and to have that vehicle look how it looks. I respect the parts that are fabricated. I respect the guys and girls that work really hard, and that's like their passion and their thing. It's just not for me. What I'm not tolerant of is not flush cut zip ties and other bullshit, poor quality wiring jobs that people do. Sorry, not sorry. I am a very judgmental asshole on that front, and I don't think that you should do shit like that. But like for real, as much as I respect some of that other stuff that is not my flavor, I am very judgmental about cars, especially in a car show setting. You've brought your vehicle here. You want to present it and like win an award. I'm the dude that's going to like look at it from 10 feet. Yeah, car looks cool. Then I'm going to walk up under the hood and like look past the polished thing to find the turd in the background and go, man, you just threw like some janky ass electrical tape on that, or I see a bunch of exposed wires and not sealed crimp connection, right? That's the level of nitpicky I get. But I also am not going to like throttle the owner about it too. Like maybe on the flush cut zip ties, because that one does really, really bother me. I do think, and I wish the car community would understand that this is not like, we all have different tastes, right? I'm not an American muscle car guy. I think some of those cars are really badass. But if you're an American muscle car guy shitting on Johnny Race Car, who's 17 and is super pumped about his Honda Civic, like, you're a dick.
Yeah.
Because this kid is passionate about cars, just like you are.
With your fucking Hellcat, and you spent $80,000 on a fucking Hellcat, and you're shitting on some kid who's super excited to have a Civic or a GTI or whatever, any car that has a 4-cylinder in it, and you're just like, fuck you. And it's like, yeah, not everybody has fucking $80,000. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, and that elitist prick driving that car is going to like pine after a Ferrari. And I promise you, unless it's like a first-time Ferrari owner that mortgaged his house for the second time to buy a piece of shit Ferrari, like a true Ferrari person is going to look at that 17-year-old kid and go, hell yeah, Johnny, that's awesome, man. I had a Civic as my first car too, right? Or something like that. Instead of being an obnoxious prick about it, fucking encourage the kid. Maybe he needs some guidance because he doesn't flush cut zip ties. And he needs someone like you to say, hey, dipshit, flush cut your zip ties. Don't call him a dipshit, right? Hey, man, flush cut your zip ties. It'll improve your overall build, right? I don't know why we feel like this big dick internet muscles when we talk shit about somebody when they're the same as we are, right? They're the same story, just a different book. Encourage them to fucking be into it. Encourage young women to be into cars, and don't be a fucking disgusting pervert trying to fucking hit on every chick because she's the chick, right? Encourage her to have her build and do that, you know? Like, you don't need to be an asshole. You could be a little bit of an asshole, especially when they ask for your honest opinion. Just give it to them. But, man, encourage these people. We're so concerned about kids not being interested in cars and like
the hobby and the passion of cars dying off as so many less people are driving. Like, you're pissing in your own boot when you shit on people that are just trying to enjoy their hobby just because you don't fucking like the way they put their stickers on their car.
When you just mentioned girls in the car community, every time I see a girl post something about her car in any Facebook group, I don't know, I'm sure you've seen that GIF of the girl with the hot dogs. And it's like that's 100% what goes through my head every time. I'm just like, oh shit, here we go. Every single time. Certainly as a girl, no girl deserves that as being their every time fucking experience in every car community ever. And there's some, mix of guys who are assholes to girls, ones who fucking just puke all over them to fucking say nice things to them, whatever. But regardless, I think, yes, the gatekeeping is the problem. And I think ultimately what it really boils down to with a lot of this stuff is ego. Is most of the gatekeeping stuff around anything is all based in ego of not the people like who would be top tier people who are confident in what they do. It's people who are kind of new to it, have gained some knowledge, they spent some time, and they feel like, now I know things. I get to be the person who knows things now. And I usually find that to be something that happens with people who are kind of looking for a way to validate themselves, is they then shit on other people. And some people find some comfort in that. I don't really understand it. I guess maybe that's a normal thing to have happen, but yeah, I certainly would encourage people to not do that.
Yeah, you're just a bullying asshole doing shit like that. Like, you're no different than that bully. You know what it probably is? They're probably at a point where they work a middle management fucking job that they hate. Their boss is a prick. Shit at home's not awesome. They got this car that's cool, and they were bullied in high school, and now they're going to take all that pent-up frustration and pick on little fucking Johnny, who just wants to be proud of his piece of crap Civic that he spent 2 hours detailing, and it's still kind of a piece of shit, but damn it if he ain't damn proud of it. So you're a bully and you're an asshole if you do that.
Are we talking about Johnny Ray, the same Johnny Ray's car from last time?
No, this is a different Johnny Race Car. Johnny Race Car, you might be okay talking a little bit of shit to. Johnny Race Car. No. I don't know why. Like, poor Johnny, right? Sorry, Johnny.
God damn it, Johnny.
It's always my go-to on, wow, you finished that. I'm impressed.
All the way done. All the way done. Here's what I'll say. I didn't like it. I can see by the sweat you've drank basically none of it. I didn't like it, but it wasn't that bad. Like, I didn't like it, and I've now come to the conclusion this alcohol, Campari, is a complete piece of shit. If you're watching this and you've ever had a drink with this liquor in it that's not garbage, please in the comments tell us what it is, because this shit sucks. And
fun fact, I could not find my shot glass for measuring, and this was like full serving of bourbon and half of Campari, half of sweet vermouth. So I used this 1/4 measuring cup. Don't hate on me because it worked just fine.
He's gonna bake a cake after this with it.
Yeah, definitely going to do that. So on the dumb mod, shitty mods, what do you think is the stupidest mod that that's like super common? Like, do whatever you want to your car, but this one you should just keep the money in your pocket and save it for tires, which is the best mod.
Man.
Is it dual bladed wiper blades? Is it Cobra light up washer jets?
That's not a thing anymore. No, that's not
coming back, bro. I'm telling you, exterior lighting, all the things. It's coming back. It's going to be cooler now. You'll have like patterns and shit. It's going to be fresh.
Here's one that comes to mind. It's not popular anymore, but it was back in those days. Even dumber. than those, which those were very common. I mean, that reaction to the
I took a
drink
drink.
is-
I'm a
Okay.
man now.
Back in the day, I'm sure you remember this, Fast and Furious days, nitrous was such a thing that people talked about. So then what happened is what became popular was nitrous. If you had nitrous, then you put a purge in your system, because if you have real nitrous systems, the idea is you're supposed to purge it. So then what would happen is people would put nitrous systems into a car they didn't even run nitrous in, just to have a purge, so that they could pull up to a car show and hit a button and have it.
Okay, that's definitely dumber than like the
That's
little
the dumbest-
turbinator thing that like it was like a little fan that went in the intake and it was supposed to like swirl the air.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day, because we made that video about carbon, and I'm thinking about making some more videos of like actually testing products and whatever. And actually, I'm thinking about making another carbon video, but I digress. I got on that. I asked Nathan, like, hey, Nathan is our video guy, by the way. Like, have you ever heard of this? Because he's young, and you and I probably remember they used to have infomercials non-fucking stop on TV about it. It was like improved horsepower,
better fuel economy.
Yeah,
the chicks will dig it.
Yes, and so like when you're super fucked up at like 1:45 in the morning, that's like that and dick pills is pretty much all that was on.
And UTI commercials. Don't forget it.
Okay.
Don't forget about UTI commercials.
Yeah, I guess it worked for us. But at least the dick pills.
Dick pills, the turbinator. I don't even remember what the hell. The tornado intake or something like that.
I think it was a tornado, or I want to say Vornado, but I don't know if that's right.
Someone knows. If you know, without Googling it, drop that shit in the comments and let us know. I think we can all agree, though, like thinking back to that era, there was one mod that every car needed. I personally didn't have this because I wasn't that like. I told you about my damn clear taillights, right? That was the kind of car modifier I was circa a long time ago. There's one mod that stands out so strong in my mind. And to this day, I pine for a car with whistle tips.
Well, you could always get the deer whistlers that you mount on the front of your car now. Could be useful in some places.
I haven't seen those, but the whistles go woo, and we do it for decoration, man. That's it, and that's all. We do it for decoration.
How about there could be a chance that we buy a car that we do every worst mod to that you could ever imagine.
I love it.
That would be amazing.
I'm in.
We start with the Vornado just to see what it does.
Whistle tips, Cobras. Shit's gonna be fresh.
This shit is gonna be fresh. In terms of mods, I mean, I think every mod comes at a cost, like you were talking about earlier, and I think that's something that most people don't really factor in. And I think a lot of times people are like, "Oh, why didn't it come like X from the factory?" And it's like, yeah, because most people would fucking hate that. Like
that is a fair question, though. There are certain things where you're like, wow. Like, especially when you get into, like, if we're talking about a Tiguan, of course it didn't come that way because you're an enthusiast. You think that shit's cool. Soccer mom Jean doesn't want that shit on her car, right? The realtor that bought this thing to take clients around doesn't want a intake and blow-off valve on his shit. He wants a nice, quiet car. We think it's cool. That's why. Plus, it probably doesn't meet like EPA guidelines and a whole bunch of other crash testing and dumb shit like that too.
I mean, certainly, yeah. I think there's all kinds of different complicated stuff when it comes to that. By the way, I don't really have a good answer for this. Do you know any details about why Euro cars get port injection and we don't?
I assume it's a cost thing.
It could be that was the one factor I was like, man, originally I was thinking it was cafe standard related because that's very specific to the US. But then I was like, man, maybe it is a cost thing, is because obviously in Europe a GTI costs a shitload more money than it does here, and which is why they come with standard with so much stuff, and the US cars are decontented. But I was like, man, it doesn't really make sense. They create all these carbon problems, although the Mark 7 does not have a significant carbon problem, but
No.
not like the
Not
TSI
like the
did.
CCTA,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, and we had a car. I had made a TikTok video. I posted it on YouTube just so that the information was out there. But 146K on the car that had never had a carbon cleaning, and it went in, and it was dirty, obviously, as you would expect with 146,000 miles. But it was like, like for you, TSI amount of buildup would it be like 35,000 miles, maybe 30,000 miles at 150? Yep.
Wow.
That's, and now I will say Nathan's car, a 18T, came from a rural area where I assume they use shitty oil and had fucking Jiffy Lube change the oil and probably shitty gas along with it. His car at 70 was worse than that car was at 150.
So that was a Golf versus a GTI?
Yes, sport wagon versus
okay, so that's
a
another
GTI.
factor that I had seen, is that the GTIs, even in the Gen 2 EA888 era, the GTI seem to be the least problematic when you factor in this engine was in a Tiguan. This engine was in a Passat. Yeah. It was in a CC.
Enthusiasts
because of the driving habits.
Well, driving habits and enthusiasts are probably more likely to use better quality oils and fuels.
Yeah. This is all true.
Yeah, I think all of those things play a part in that whole thing. Yeah, I'm actually contemplating taking an intake manifold and modifying it that allows me to run the engine with a borescope down there and then test a bunch of products.
That'd be cool. I have well, you guys have intake manifolds.
Yeah.
Like nobody's business, because they still fail after all these years of bad intake manifolds. So maybe an intake manifold on a CCTA Gen 2 EA888 would be not a stupid modification. Yeah. It would in fact be a good modification. I want to kind of wrap up a little bit with just some advice about modifying your car. And as you know, Paul and I both very cool with modifying car. I think for us as enthusiasts, it's just an extension of what we think is already an awesome car, because we wouldn't buy it otherwise, and a way to customize it and make it our own, right? To accessorize it, if you will. And I think that's really cool. What I would really recommend people doing, instead of just going on like the Mark 7 Facebook group and seeing what everybody else is doing, like you can do that because it's a good research platform. Look at what's out there. Begin to formulate what you want from your car. Is this just aesthetics? Cool. Is it you want to actually have a car that drives better, behaves in a certain way, sounds different, looks better? Like whatever it is that you want from your car, try hard to define that first, so you're not spending $100 or however much it costs on an upgraded gas cap if you don't care about the aesthetics of the car, right? This will save you money. This will slow your process down, and I think it'll overall help you make better choices in what you want and what you get out of your vehicle when it's done. Also, don't forget that tires are definitely the best mod that you could do, and a tune depending on the car, but tires universally, I think, are the best modification you could do to your car. So get new tires.
Yeah. So for me, I think to build on that, or really kind of maybe give some different take on that, I think
Buy everything Shop Dap sells
Yeah.
to modify your car, and you'll be fine. You'll be happy no matter
Oh
what.
yeah, 100%. I think you should be thoughtful of what you buy and modding your car. No one has an infinite budget when it comes to modding, right? That's completely normal. I don't expect that to be the case. Be thoughtful of what you do. I also think be smart about it and don't just spend money just because it's burning a hole in your pocket and you're waiting to spend it. That's probably the best advice I can give to most people is I see people who are like, oh, my car doesn't have a tune yet and I'm looking to get more power. What can I do? And that's probably the number one thing that I see happen that I'm like, man, please just fucking save your money and get a tune first. Unless you don't want to get a tune because you want to save your warranty or whatever, fine, cool. But do something that gets you the best bang for your buck first, then mod after that. Now, if you don't want to tune your car because you want to save your warranty, okay, look at a piggyback, look at Newspeed power module, look at burger shit, whatever. That's fine if you want to go that direction. But before you spend every $200 mod you can buy because that's what your paycheck is and that's what you can get immediately, get the things that get you the best bang for your buck first, then go to the other things.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot better return on your investment from a tune, from tires, from stuff like that than you are a cold air intake. Exhausts you might love the way that shit sounds, but a full catback exhaust for pretty much any modern VW or Audi is fucking expensive. Hell, it was like $600 for a full exhaust for my Miata. It's crazy expensive. So, another thing you can look at if you're straight horsepower based, do a horsepower per dollar comparison and see how much you're actually spending per horsepower. Obviously, stickers gain 5 horsepower, so don't forget to include that.
ShopAds.com stickers, obviously, as many as they gain actually 6 horsepower.
Yeah. It's the vinyls though, not like stickers, right? Like the vinyls.
Yeah. Well, yes, of course.
Yeah. Is that a mod? Would you count that as a mod?
I don't think I would count it as a mod. Probably not.
Weak sauce. But anyway, do whatever the hell you want, ultimately. I don't give a shit. As long as you're happy with it, you're not making a death trap of a vehicle that should be fucking cut off the road and thrown in a scrapyard. Do whatever you want because it's cool. It's lame. It doesn't matter what I think.
Do whatever you want, except it does not matter what we think. And that's the one thing I will say is it doesn't matter. Don't ask Charles or I what we think of your car. I don't fucking care. It's your car. You do what you want to do to it. Don't do things like cut your springs or use those fucking clamps that people use to clamp their springs lower. That shit.
You're basically using like one of these drywall anchors that I've been fiddle fucking with the whole show.
Those are the good ones. Yeah. Don't use shit like that. But as long as you're not doing shit like that, it's your car. Do whatever the fuck you want. The one I just encourage people to avoid, especially new car people. There's a trend that I see, and I even saw it with myself, is like once you get into cars and you get excited about them, you like want to do stuff. You want to do stuff, but then sometimes you don't have enough money. And so you're like, what can I do? And so then you just look for anything you do. So you paint every fucking grill you can, or every trim piece, or every this fucking red or orange or purple or whatever the fuck color you want. And I think most times the car ends up looking ridiculous, and just because you were hunting for a thing you could do, not something you actually wanted to do.
So you're saying Plastidip is
everything.
A mod.
Plastidip everything, including your asshole. Just stick that fucking shit up your ass.
Well, I think there is no better way to wrap that shit up than with Paul's amazing advice of just Plastidip your asshole.
Yes, there we go. And that's a show. That's an episode, folks. We'll see you next week.
Hey, real quick, don't forget, you guys can also listen, if you'd rather just listen only to our nonsensical ramblings on all the podcasty type type
Hey,
platforms.
also give us reviews. Give us reviews on
These assholes suck. They suck so hard. Thank you.
Right after telling you to shove a plastic can up your ass, I have now told you to review us.
Impeccable timing.
Be sure to include that in your review. Until next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.